All right, so I showed you guys, just three examples real quick. I don't want to sit here. Like I said, we're all busy. We don't have time to go through too many, but just want to show you guys those real quick. So, if you got your website up while we talk about that, great. But, ultimately, how can we get your website to have these conversion elements? So you guys can pull up your own website and look at it as we go through this to kind of, check out. You can make notes to yourself, check off, yeah, I've got this taken care of. No, I need to implement this, element. So, I highly encourage you guys to take notes as we go. And that way you don't have to try to remember everything. So one element we see a lot is, or when you're starting, if you're starting from scratch or you're just looking at a high level view of your website, there's a saying and it goes, if you can see Joe Jones through Joe Jones' eyes, then you can sell what Joe Jones buys. And I mean, it's kind of a corny little saying, I get it. But, ultimately that just means, just imagine you sitting back, your house floods, right? Your toilet overflows on the second floor, floods the first floor ceiling, the ceiling collapses. Like, what would you want to see on a site that you ended up on? Like, so really the big point is to see this from the prospect eyes, not what you think, you want to see or what you like. Like if you were in their shoes and you had that problem, what would help you pick up the phone and make that call? So a lot of times I think we all make that mistake of not really stepping back and say like, all right, if I was making this decision or I had this problem, what would I want to see? So that's kind of where we get into the whole customer or ideal customer avatar thing, right? Like, what are the pains and frustrations you have? What are the fears and implications? What are the goals and desires? And, what are their dreams and aspirations, or what are the solutions they ultimately need? So, just a quick example. I mean, we're not going to go, this isn't a, psychology webinar, but or demographics either, but we'll kind of just give you a, I gave an example of an ideal customer avatar that it could be depending on what you're, if you specialize in, storm damage or fire damage, whatever, it could vary obviously, right? But, you can do a deep dive into the data to really see like, all right, we've noticed that most of our clients and customers, are homeowners that are over 35 years old, married to 2 to 3 kids. I mean, this could just be an example, right? It could be different for mold, and obviously the demographics are going to vary based on where you are in the country, what neighborhood, et cetera, right? There's a lot of variables, but ultimately I just want you guys to keep that in mind, as you're thinking about your websites. And, what are the pains and frustrations? The toilet overflow, they have mold on the walls, do they have a fire in the kitchen? I mean, the copy or the videos or whatever you're doing for that page needs to speak to that pain and frustration. They can't get a restoration company on the phone. Nobody's answering. It could be 11 o'clock at night. Or but the restoration companies aren't answering. Whatever's getting hung up in the call center or whatever the problem might be. Are they too busy to deal with their insurance company? They don't want to do it. They want you to handle it for them. That's a good selling point. A lot of our clients are like, hey, don't worry about it. We'll call your insurance agent for you and deal with it. I mean, that's something I would like to hear, right? I don't want to have to like deal with the restoration company, talk to the adjuster. I mean, a lot of people just don't, they're busy, right? They don't have time for that. So if a company approaches and say, hey, if your website says like, hassle-free insurance claims, or we'll deal directly with the insurance company for you. I mean, that would be a selling point if I was going to end up on the site, right? Because the time you can take away from them and take it on yourself, it's a huge selling point. So there's just a few things to keep in mind. And obviously, if you specialize in mold, or if you just do mold testing, or some of our clients only do water damage, then obviously you need to tweak this a little bit to be more specific for your, for the type of services you're specializing in. But the fears and implications they have, they don't want to be ripped off, paying too much. They might get mold. They're worried they're going to get mold if their home's not dried out properly. Waiting around, having to wait for the technician to get there. Like, I'm sure you guys see this a lot. Like, 60-minute response time is a big ad copy thing, just to let people know. Because if your house is flowing, if your house is flooding and the water's starting to turn off, and that's still happening, I mean, time is of the essence, right? The damage is only getting worse. the people, you'd be freaking out. You need somebody there ASAP to fix it. So that's a huge, huge fear that a prospect would have. And I mean, ultimately, keep in mind, all right, so what's the end result they want? They want the water leak fixed, water turned off, and then they really want their home in like new condition as quick as possible. And then that way they have peace of mind, they can move on with their life. Everybody hates hangups and unexpected problems. So ultimately, with your website, you want to keep those in mind to let them, just to get everything back up and like new again. Hope you got value out of that video. If you're looking for more ideas and strategies for better ways to market your water, mold, or fire damage restoration business online, you can go to restorationmarketinggroup.com, and there we have a free checklist you can download. It's called the Ultimate Online Marketing Guide for Damage Restoration Contractors. And there you'll be able to get the latest strategies that are working now to really increase your lead flow online. You could probably even 5 to 10x the number of leads you're getting per month from internet marketing. So there should be a link below, restorationmarketinggroup.com, and there you can download the checklist for free of charge, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.